The Rhyniognatha, or Sky Giga as a lot of people are calling it, is a super interesting and frankly overpowered creature that's been freshly introduced into the game. I did some testing with it on stream and I want to share what I've learned. By the way, I stream all the time on Twitch, so make sure to head over there so you don't miss any content that doesn't make it to YouTube. The Sky Giga has been released for the Island and Lost Island, two free maps that come with the base game. Yes, you can get this creature right now, today, at this very moment, even on Xbox, even on PlayStation. Anyway, I struggled to find it on Lost Island, but pretty much as soon as I went to the swamp on the island, I found one right away. And so the testing began. The taming method for this guy is not anywhere close to typical. First, you'll need to get the Rhyniognatha pheromone by killing a wild Rhyniognatha. Next, you need a basic tame like a trike, stego, or parasaur. This basic tame will be injected with a Rhyniognatha baby and eventually killed when the Rhyniognatha is born. To impregnate your tame, you'll first need to find a wild female Rhyniognatha. The higher the level, the better. Next, you'll need to feed your sacrificial tame the Rhyniognatha pheromone, which will mark the creature as breedable by the female. The next part is probably the hardest part. You're gonna have to get the Rhyniognatha below 10% HP, but also make sure you don't kill it. Much like the Reaper, the Rhyniognatha realizes it's about to die and will inject your tame with a baby to pass along its genes as nature intended. It does this weird backflip thing and puts its stinger on your tame. It's pretty obvious what's happening, but if it's not obvious enough, the Rhyniognatha will flee and your tame will have a huge orange glow around it, as well as some information on the HUD. You'll see the incubation time remaining, and when that time is up, the Rhyniognatha baby will be born, which will kill your tame. Next, you have a cravings timer. This is the amount of time until your impregnated tame wants a random item to be fed to it. Your creature could want a giga egg, absorbent substrate, black pearls, Lazarus chowder, pretty much any item in the game, which makes this part of the process extremely difficult if you don't have easy access to everything. The reason this is important is because this is what will level the baby. If you do not do this, you'll be stuck with the lowest possible level on your new Rhyniognatha baby, which for me was a pitiful level 1. If you can make it beyond these cravings and actually get your Rhyniognatha born, it's pretty straightforward from there. It eats raw meat and imprints as usual, as far as I'm aware. I also tested to see if using a giga as a sacrificial tame would result in a higher level Rhyniognatha baby, but it turned out exactly the same. Use your starter dinos unless you're crazy or bougie. Rhyniognatha are not breedable, which makes a lot of sense because they have a ton of abilities. First, and most obvious, they can fly. They can also shoot 3 types of projectiles, giving them a total of 3 firing modes: needle, rocket, and bomb. These firing modes can be changed according to the controls that are displayed on screen in the lower left-hand corner, but for PC, you'll just use left control and right click. All projectiles use resin for ammo, which can be converted from tree sap inside the Rhyniognatha. Just put the sap inside and wait. Needle mode will provide straight up damage, dealing 75 damage per shot regardless of what your creature's melee stat is, and costing 1 resin. Rocket mode will cost 3 resin and will slow the creature as well as dealing damage. This is the middle ground between needle and bomb, which is best used for area denial and costs 5 resin. This stuff goops up on the ground, and when the creature walks in it, this meter starts to fill pretty quickly. When it's completely full, the creature will be frozen in place, or should I say stuck in place. Rocket mode is extremely interesting because the Rhyniognatha has evolved heat-seeking, target-tracking vision. I think this is pretty weird, but it's also pretty handy for fast-moving creatures so long as you can obtain the lock-on. If those abilities weren't enough for you, the Sky Giga can also taunt other creatures, essentially giving you the UD's Fear Roar. Small creatures will flee for a short period of time. However, I wasn't able to check if this has any additional effects on the fleeing creatures. Next, the Rhyniognatha can coat itself in hardened resin to act as a shield. I did forget to do testing to see how much damage this ability actually mitigates, but with how broken the rest of these abilities are, I'm pretty sure it's significant. Have you ever seen a flyer swim? Me either, but the Sky Giga can't. It don't care. It'll find you anywhere you go. A lot of its abilities are hampered underwater though, but it is super fast to make up for it. Additionally, it can walk on water too. Just land on the surface and you can walk around. They're also impervious to lightning attacks from Nadaria and eels. If that wasn't enough abilities for some reason, this creature can also pick up structures from your base or other bases, because why not? Ever wanted to carry a Rex around at high speeds? You can do that with the Rhyniognatha. This creature is incredibly broken, but also extremely fun. Go get one. Don't forget to find me on Twitch. Thank you. Bye.